Yeah, you can find this on all podcasts, Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you can find podcasts.
I had that all set up and I messed it up. What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of the Cali Brick Clique. It's that ninja with the bricks, and I got Claire and my ninja Shy. This week we got a special guest, Jabo.
Hey.
Yeah, you already know. So before we get into this, next week it's going to be on Shy's channel.
No, it's not.
No?
No, it's
Claire's
not.
channel. That's what I meant to say.
It's on my channel.
Look, I was preparing all week for this,
Damn.
and I messed it up. Welcome to the Cali Brick Clique. Nah. So yeah, next week is going to be on Claire's channel. Correction. But we did it in the beginning at least. So
At least we got that part right.
yeah, so that's good. So how you guys been doing this week?
Hungry?
Obviously, the two of us down here are eating.
All right, guys.
I
Yeah,
already ate.
You already ate? Yeah. We were. What is? It's like 9:20 for you, right?
Yeah, it's late now for
No.
me, so not too late. Yeah.
Right,
When do you
still-
film?
I film usually in the evenings. Usually in the time between when I get home and my son gets home. So
Like
usually,
late afternoon, early
yeah.
evening.
So it's around 5 here
Okay,
when I'm filming. I get home around 4:30.
Oh my god.
nice.
But I go in at I wake up at 5:15.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
Oh.
feel like I've seen your vlogs where it's like dark as night and you're like on your
True.
way to work.
That's a sacrifice, right? Yep.
No.
And
Yeah.
that alarm goes off too quick often. So I know a lot of people will batch record, and so sometimes I will try to film 2 or 3 videos on the days that I'm not as busy, which
Okay.
that can take me like 2 hours sometimes.
Mhm.
No, yeah, I
feel like-
totally get that.
I feel like that's the best way. Like ever since Shy told me about batch recording, solid.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Wait, so
I mean-
when you're like down in your basement, like, do you already know like what you're gonna record, or because it feels like we're just like hanging out down there, just like two AFOLs, like and that's I think the charm. That's part of it,
Yeah.
and like just talking about whatever's in front of you, which is
Yeah.
okay.
It doesn't feel like you're talking to an audience. It feels like you're talking to one-on-one to the
Personal.
viewer, which is
Yeah.
the one thing I love about it.
Yeah, it's very much one-on-one.
Yeah, and it's not. It's like it kind of goes like one way to the other, so it doesn't feel staged, which is why I like watching them.
So I appreciate that. I had this epiphany, if that's the right word, but I was looking at the back of my cell phone that I record with, and I was like, it's so natural to me now to look at the camera and talk like I'm talking. And I feel like I'm actually talking to somebody, even though there's nobody in the room.
Like a
And-
FaceTime.
Yes. I can't see anybody. I always have it. I don't see myself. I don't see anything. It's just the back of that phone. But I usually what I'll do to prepare is I try to highlight like 1 or 2 comments that I will be thinking about, and whatever I'm going to be doing. Sometimes, usually it's a haul, or whatever progress I've made in the basement, or anything I'm ranting about, or whatever's going on in that moment. That's okay. This is what I'm going to talk about. So what I try to do is I try to memorize what I'm going to do. So my outline is up here. Sometimes if it's a little more detailed, I might write out a couple of things that I need to highlight, or if it's a longer comment, I'll put it on my iPad where I can read it.
Okay, so you don't really like script it. You just kind of fly
No,
by the seat.
it's not. That's why there's a lot of rambling.
Nice. Okay.
Well,
But
it's
it's more- to me, it's more
real
natural that
conversation.
way.
I like that. Yeah, it feels natural like that. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
scripted, which is a
No.
good thing.
Yeah,
Because I would have been
it's not
really
rushed or
impressed if you were scripting that whole thing. Oh,
Scripting
No.
a rant, that would be good.
scripting a rant, right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh wow, here's a lot. That's a lot to script. BFAB can't keep up. Ah!
anything. You got it out of the way quick. Huh?
So, yeah, the script versus no script, that's something that's some people can't work without a script, but there's nothing wrong with either way. I mean, you could always edit out the and ums and all that. I end up leaving a lot of the
Interesting.
word whiskers in there.
Yeah, I've never thought about that. I always try to do a script so I don't say that, but I never thought of editing it out. I should try that.
Now,
It
there was
takes longer.
a while there I was taking out all the ums.
I mean, I
feel
try
like if
to
I do that,
do my
it's a
best
lot
not
of
to
ums.
say it. It's just hard. It's so hard.
I think it would like
likes.
quadruple my editing time if I took out all my ums. I say it so much. I need to work on it.
Those are like those fallback.
Speech 101. Speech 101.
I was
I
talking
say
about.
anyway. So
Like I was saying.
But- So there's a balance between like you need to have energy for a video. And I think all of you guys do that. You have your own energy in the way that you present yourself on camera.
Right.
But when I look back at my old videos, hey, it's BrickTsar. I'm here looking at this vintage bit. I think I even commented at one time. I was like, I think I bore myself.
That's funny.
do you think you were just like
I didn't know what to do. And
Uncomfortable?
it's like that being unsure of yourself and not having the confidence. And yeah, it now that I've done it so much, it's like I don't even think twice about it.
It's like second nature now.
Yeah.
I could dig that.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
so we got right into that one, but you did mention something about basically your old videos. So how, like, when was your first video?
2008,
2000, okay.
but that was on the other channel. So
Okay.
when YouTube started, I thought it was a file sharing service. Like you could upload videos to share with your family.
Right.
So it's like a video.
I wish that existed. We don't have anything like that, do we?
Still
I
don't.
mean, everything is social, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing
And you
private.
can make all your stuff where only your certain people can see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you could like
no.
do a
Yes,
private
there
channel.
was something. It was prior Friendster.
What?
It was we used it in high school like in 2002. It's called like Family Tree or Tree something, where the only people that can be in this network are people that you invite, and it's supposed to be just your family. So you can share videos, posts, and all that kind of stuff, but it's just your family.
Mhm.
And then Friendster came, and then MySpace came, well, Tom came,
And then Tom came.
and then Zuckerberg came, and then
Took it over.
Yeah.
Changed the game. But
So I uploaded like 3 videos between 2008 and 2009. That's it. And in 2010, I started getting all these emails from Google. Hey, your video is pretty popular. You might want to monetize it. And I'm like, or join the partner program, or whatever they called it back then. And I thought they were, I was deleting those emails. I thought they were spam.
yeah.
And then finally I read one of them and I was like, oh, I should try that. And so I did. And then I was like, okay, what do I make? What videos do I make? And I experimented with a lot of stuff that was quite boring and uninteresting and
Hey, you gotta
a
start
pain to
somewhere. Right?
watch.
Wait, like other hobbies that you have other
Yes.
than like
So
what?
wait,
What do I do?
which
What do
channels
I
came
do?
first?
Yeah.
What's that?
Which channels came first?
Jabo 37.
Okay,
And that
I know
wasn't
that
a
one.
Lego channel?
Yeah,
It
that wasn't
was
like
a anything channel. So I did
Okay.
I did comic books, roller coasters, slot cars, trains, wildlife.
I'm sorry, wildlife. I'm sorry. Can we go
so
back to
I have a bird video that is rather popular. And
like bird watching? Like
Yeah.
in your area?
So this is.
Oh, this is so fascinating.
I'm not frustrated. So this is. I worked at night when I started YouTube. Started doing videos for YouTube, and I came home from. Well, I didn't come home from work. I was cutting a bush in the springtime that had the bush gets out of hand, and you got to cut it every year. And I had I was just cutting it, and when I went like that, there was a bird nest there.
Oh no!
With 4 eggs in it. And
Oh
it was,
no!
like, totally exposed now, and I was like, oh. So I stopped, and then I watched. It was right in front of our window, and I could look out and see the birds, and mom and dad would come out there and sit on the eggs. So I took a picture of it, and the next day they hatched.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh. So I took my point and shoot camera and set it in the branches of the where he had a good shot of the nest. I hit record, and I went back inside, and then went back outside after, because you can only record for 15 minutes with that camera. After 15 minutes, I went back and saw what I had. And I did that for 9 straight days until they left the nest. And it was so neat. I was like, oh, that's what they do with the poop.
Wow,
So
interesting.
I uploaded these videos to YouTube as they were, and nobody watched them.
Oh.
Like you didn't edit them, nothing.
I didn't edit them.
Yeah.
It's like
So
a
then I
time-lapse
edited
stuff.
them. I took the highlights from all those days, and I made a video called 9 Days in the Nest, and I put some royalty-free music behind it, and the video kind of blew up.
At least you knew at the time to do royalty-free music. That's like a pretty rookie, I mean, like mistake
Mm-hmm.
that you already knew not to do.
Right. I had done some research about making videos, and then I started getting all the complaints about the music. Why isn't this just the natural? And I was like, I did the natural things, and I put the links to the original videos that nobody watched.
So early on in the game, you started messing with people who were hating.
Yeah. I was like, So yeah, my best work is when I get mad.
Hey, the true emotions come out.
Yeah. So I experimented with all these things. I even bought a Connects roller coaster that was large. I said nobody else is going to have this because it's so big. And I spent a week building that thing and doing the videos, and they're horrible videos. They really are.
A little sidebar. Did you guys see there's a new Connects roller coaster, but it's Pac-Man now?
I have that.
Oh, okay.
my
So
God.
that means yes.
Oh my God.
It's not as great as it sounds.
Nah, it didn't make me pull the trigger, but I seen it and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's Pac-Man. That's pretty
It's
cool.
Walmart's got that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that went completely left. I was expecting your first video to be like Lego related.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Was it number 4?
We did experiment with a stop motion, and that didn't go anywhere because that's too much work.
Oh yeah, that's.
So what was the video that solidified BrickTsar?
This the Lego
Yeah.
end of it. So I realized watching when I was trying all these different things, I saw Brick Show was doing their reviews of sets, and I was like, I don't even need to go buy stuff. I got stuff.
Okay, so you already had it.
I'm going to do videos about my stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, like what was your collection like back then when you were like, I'm going to make videos?
It was pretty large then.
Got it. So
I've been collecting for so long.
that's incredible because I've been collecting for a while as well, but the second I started engaging in social media, it exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a shopping addiction. We've talked about it here on this platform.
All video.
Yeah.
But I'm doing them
All video.
slowly haul videos. Okay. But that's really, so did you feel like do you feel like because of YouTube you buy more, or is there a new Lego BrickTsar channel? What's the difference? I'm just curious.
So, yeah, I mean, I had a large collection before, and I bought and sold stuff too. So that kind of helped then. But when YouTube started, and then when my Duplo videos took off out of nowhere, I started making money on YouTube. And so I had that disposable income to buy more and the incentive to buy more. It definitely, and I think this video may not have posted. I know in a recent video that I filmed, I said that I still would be buying things. I still would be collecting things, but just not on this scale if it wasn't for YouTube and BrickLink.
I agree. Yeah.
So was it so basically the YouTube and the BrickLink made you go 110%, maybe a little more.
Yes.
Okay. I could dig that.
And YouTube died for me in 2016 as far as like thinking of it as being a career, but it's still, there's still a decent, I wish I could find it. Somebody made a snarky comment, is like, because people would look at my views like on a typical video and they're like, whoa, look at you can buy a UCS set every month, whoa, whoop-de-doo. And that's about where I'm at now. So
I mean, I look at your channel as a huge success.
I do too.
I mean, you like one, everyone respects and knows you within the community. I'm talking about the YouTube community and amongst ourselves as well. But like, you have a good, solid following of people who genuinely care about your content.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't trade that for the other, like some of our other friends out there who are killing it in views, but have to deal with the backlash with stuff. So
yeah, I think you can get back success, whatever that may be to people, can cause you to have a lot of unnecessary backlash. Like if your channel was just to take off all of a sudden, people are like, well, look at what did he do to take off? You don't have any control. Nobody has control over how many views your video gets.
Right.
You just do better things that hopefully people will watch, but also those videos that get a lot of views, they attract the people that you don't want sometimes.
Yeah. So, and so then you have to deal with that. I think, and then also you probably, and I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I can imagine if anyone like blows up, you also like start feeling the pressure, you know what I mean? And so maybe like what you deliver isn't the same within the same vein or within the same creative light as what it was originally produced and what originally blew up. And so it doesn't have the quality. And so then you just are constantly fighting with yourself, and you're fighting with these people that you probably would never have interacted with in any other social or professional environment.
we love you, Sans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's like a growth thing though, because everyone always says that, like, oh, I like the old stuff, especially like with music. I hear that all the time, like, oh, the old stuff was better, but it's just growth, honestly. That's what I think.
You know, someone once told me when I was young, sorry, Jabbo, if it goes out of line. He's like, you're always going to be jamming to the music you first started with.
Yeah.
My kids love the 80s.
Yeah, I feel like
that's cool.
High quality brainwashing there. That was very smart.
That was me. I did it. I had video proof of it too. So.
No, I still like my parents. Oh, sorry, my parents did the same thing with me as well, and it worked.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But
show the love for it.
Yeah, well, you have to. There has to be an emotional attachment. There needs to be like good memories tied with that music, and then. Like I also like listen to my own music that I discovered on my own, but my parents also enjoy new music. I think they have a hard time with rap, but because the cadence is so different. But that's about it. They can. They
don't like Eminem.
I mean, honestly,
I can change their mind.
You know, my dad is in his 70s. Let's give him a break. But you know,
you just haven't found the right songs. That's what it is.
That's my fault. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's your fault.
Have him listen to Godzilla.
He has Godzilla.
Or Rap God.
He loves Celine Dion.
I love Celine Dion. Titanic was a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny.
No, my mom had the actual music taste in the family, but yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
See, I can. Should I? Yeah, I'll spin that little that topic into Lego. Like, what about old Lego versus like new Lego? Because I mean 2008
Where's that
is still
line though? What line do we cross to say what's old and what's new?
You see, that's what I was gonna think, because 2008 is still, because that's when you started your Lego videos, but I know you have old Lego
and,
so,
and a tipper truck.
And you mentioned it before, the difference between vintage and old Lego or older sets.
yeah.
What is that line then? Yeah, what's that line?
To me, like 80s and back are the vintage. Everybody has their own opinion or definition of that, and different collectibles have different categories for things. But the 90s is when Lego started that ramping up of producing a lot of different things, and so it was a good merger, or not a merger, but so 2005 YouTube starts. 2005 Lego starts doing better as a company, and then you get these people that start doing YouTube videos. I think there's a direct relation to Lego company, their success, with all these people talking about it on social media.
Definitely.
I don't think they recognize it.
Someone clip that.
Someone clip that.
But I'm completely fine being the guy that people in the community know that Lego doesn't know, so that's fine with me.
There you go. Yeah.
I can't imagine they don't know.
They probably
don't
hate
know.
me. If they do know me, they hate me.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, they hated me. They hate me so much that they turned me.
Lego just has bad taste in people. I think not.
I mean, hate is such a strong word, not to sound like, negative Nancy, but it's just like
I'm just biased, okay?
No.
Nah,
So-
no. I mean,
they're
I'm
like straight
cynical. My bad.
Obi-Wan and Anakin. I hate you.
So I'm a vintage collector. All right, so I like a lot of the old stuff. All right, compared to today, yes, a lot of the old stuff is garbage. It's simple builds and very
Bricks.
uninteresting, but it's what the technology was at that time. When I look at a car that they built in a Lego set in 1960, it's based on a car that was from 1960s.
Right.
So it's going to be square and boxy, plus they're limited with parts. So yes, Lego is better today. And so, you get somebody like me that likes the vintage. I like showing the vintage. I like looking at the box art that they used. And I forgot what my point was.
Hashtag Truck Army.
Tipper Truck Army. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm taking something that was my childhood one of my first sets, and I'm making a ridiculous, unnecessary Tipper Truck Army.
That's how you do it.
but you're single-handedly proving that the vintage collector, the vintage consumer, however you define vintage, has an effect on the microeconomy that is Lego vintage. So already by you collecting these things, you said in the video that the cost of them per item or whatever has gone up on Bricklink, which is like, a good unit of measure. It's our best unit of measure, right? And then I don't know if this is where you were going by talking about the vintage Lego, but like, is there a part of you that thinks that like Lego has, turned a blind eye because you're more of a vintage Lego collector, or was that it? Did I get it?
I think that you okay. So when you look at today, everything's about on social media. It's this generation. They grew up with it. They don't remember growing up like I did, where there was no internet. Where if you didn't buy a Lego set within 3 years, you never saw it again ever anywhere. There was no aftermarket to go buy it. So you got a lot of young people, and I think that's the ones that run their social media and their ambassador network. It's young people. So they're drawn to other young people. I don't see someone like me succeeding because I don't have any interest in leaks.
Right.
Yeah.
I like seeing a set, though, if they do some kind of throwback to an older set. And you see that in tons of the things. They'll do throwbacks to older sets. I like seeing stuff like that, but just, I'm not ever going to be the one that's like, oh, look at this, the new set. I got to rush out and go get that now. I mean, I got to get the space shuttle. I like the space shuttle, things like that. But so I don't fit because, my hobby, most of my collecting is collecting these old things, these underappreciated Lego items.
So it's not like you gotta find those from like third parties and stuff, right?
Yeah. You got to get them from the BrickLink sellers, the eBayers, the Facebook marketplaces,
But on the surface, it seems like you're not fueling the hype that is like the leak train and the mania and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I actually like. I disagree. I don't know. I found myself buying a lot more from BrickLink since, following you regularly, having an appreciation for like other things, you know what I mean? And then also like seeing sets now that are on shelves in a different way, like, not to, blow smoke, but I definitely think there is value there. But to be fair, like I am part of the adult market, you know what I mean? We're a minority, we're not, young kids going to their parents and being like, "Mommy, get me this set," and like, pulling, on the side of them. We're spending 100-fold more than probably that kid would, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-mm. No, they want 10,000 people buying the set that those sets that they'll play with for a season or two.
Yeah.
Than 10 of us.
Right.
They'll make more money from that. Because
Okay.
all this stuff that's out today, unless it's exclusive or hard to find, or it's going to be at Goodwill. There's going to be somebody trying to sell it on Facebook.
The news, yeah. See, honestly, that's how I feel, because I don't go for sets day one. Like I'll wait.
The only one that I really bought day one really recently was the medieval blacksmith. I really thought that was gonna sell out, and I thought it was gonna be like the old fishing store, which I had to pay like aftermarket prices for.
I think we all hyped each other up for that though. So for like the set that like we buy day one, like you and I would be talking about that for like a week. Like, oh, are you gonna get this? Are you gonna get this? Are you gonna get this?
Yeah.
To the point where you're like, oh snaps, I have to get this. But if you and I weren't having that conversation on a daily basis, you would probably wait like a week or two, maybe a month or two, or even like a year in that case.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the
we're definitely fueling each other trying to get the set, because we always go to the why am I going to buy it? Like we justify the reasons why we buy Lego sets all the time, and then not only that, like we push each other to want to get that set, like how I do to you all the time.
You are
building it
because I can afford it, so you push me to get it. Here's the thing that's ridiculous, though. I was thinking New Year's Eve, we were all on a live stream together, and we're all like refreshing, the what's it called, like the Lego.com website.
When it crashed,
I spent though like probably 10 times the amount that I would have if I was alone. I probably wouldn't I would have been like out with friends, like what, Lego.com on New Year's Eve? Like, are you kidding me? Like that never would happen. But like, because of this community and because of the fuel, I mean, like Lego's definitely getting my paycheck. But
that's the FOMO.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Wait, what happened?
Shout out to the fool.
So,
wait, what happened in 2016 though? Like, why was that the year that you were like, this is
so I have another channel called Trains Are Fun. And I did so the videos that were getting 1 million or more views on this channel were all Thomas and Friends related. But I knew I said, this is not my audience here. I know I'm getting, you get 1 million views and 10 comments. But so I was like, let me, since that's trains, I like trains in general. I can do all my train stuff on this other channel. And within, that channel took off pretty quickly. And YouTube was always reaching out to me about taking their seminars and stuff. And they were grooming us they wanted us to do more kid content.
Oh, yeah.
They were. Did you pick that word choice?
Yeah, they wanted us to do more content for kids. I mean, I'm sitting here with this 22-year-old just telling me stuff like that to do, where it appeals to younger children, and I'm like, but I don't want to do that. And I remember there was the Squirrel Stampede guy was one of the ones that was in one of these seminars I was in. He was so disinterested in what they were doing.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to do it the way I'm doing it. So he kept doing stuff the way he did.
So basically, they came at you like, okay, you gotta raise your voice, get a high pitched voice, and nice and energetic, and bring the toys in. Okay, dang. And then
I said I cannot do that. Yeah. That's not who I am. I mean, I can get excited about something.
Yeah.
But I got to be genuinely excited. I can't.
Yeah.
If you watch. So when COPPA happened, I was like, so that was, that's 2019. But in 2016, the channel was just like, it was really, it was doing phenomenal.
Nice.
And I was also at a bad place at work. Don't tell anybody.
Secret safe here.
I had those dreams of like, okay, I just want to drive my truck somewhere and just park it and cut the GPS off before I get there so they don't know where it is. But, no, I got through all that. I have a really, really good job. I would never want to jeopardize that job. But
hey, sometimes things get hectic.
People happen.
Yeah.
people happen. There's a
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
company
People,
was good.
it's not usually the job, it's the people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's
or a
awesome.
person or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was at a point where I could, it was YouTube. I said, I could just do YouTube and quit my job. And I was already, there's things like health insurance and other things you have to think about, and then how the impact of all the taxes.
Right.
And so I was at that point, and I was like, this is great. And then October 10th, 2016, it was like in the middle of the day, it's like I was one of those people that was always checking their analytics, and it just went, choo, it just stopped it instantly. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of like what Jane was talking about with his thing. Like he's got his date where things just shut off. And that's what happened to me in October of 2016. I mean, I went from getting 500,000 views a day to 100,000, which, I mean, I'd be happy to get 100,000 views now.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to Brick Queen too, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, just how the space changes. And yeah, it's so weird.
There's no stability with YouTube.
And there's no rhyme or reason. Like, it's not like you can go back and be like, well, I did X, Y, and Z. This is what happened. I'm going to learn my lesson. You know how you can have like a one-on-one with your boss and like figure out what's going on. This is not something that you can do that with. Are there resources like within YouTube to be like, hey, my channel is crashing? Obviously, they want your channel to do well. If your channel does well, they do well.
No, they're useless. They just tell you the same thing: thumbnails, titles.
Yeah, same nonsense.
Content. And that's really where it's at. You got to have good thumbnails, a good catchy, clickbaity-ish title. I don't mean clickbait in a negative way.
Clickable.
But the videos I have that have done well on the Lego channel, a lot of them I knew would do well compared to my other videos, because of the title. Sometimes, give you an example. There was a video I made in like 2013 when Series 10 was out. It was "Don't Be Fooled. This is not more rare than Mr. Gold," and it was in response to a comment I got on my fourth haul that I ever did on this channel. Some kid commented, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. That part's not rare." And it was Jacob, my son, picked up a red 2x4 brick. I was talking about some like rarer parts that I found in a vintage haul that I got. And he goes like, "Oh, and this, Dad?" He holds up a red 2x4 brick. And I'm like, "Yeah, Jacob, very rare. It's very rare." And he's like, he knew it was not rare. We were joking, but I had that deadpan voice that I do. Like, I'm not laughing at that time. I was just, rare, very rare. So some kid commented, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. The 2x4 brick is not rare." So I did I was so mad. I read that comment at night when I was at work. So I worked the midnight shift. I came home that morning. I was so mad. I made a video response to it. It's like 3.5 minutes long about that. I just found out, I made up a fake certificate of authenticity. I paid $500 for this 2x4 brick. It was supposed to be one of one. And oh my goodness.
Now,
the people that thought the video was real.
Oh my! Yeah, that's YouTube. That's YouTube for you. So, a quick question: is that why you signed the 2x4 red bricks? Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
That makes sense.
Nice.
I love it.
Wow,
it's not just guys. Because it's like the source, like the original, or not original, but it's like such an iconic piece. It's so much more than that. I love it.
Right. Yeah. It's a piece of the channel history. So you can map out what you want to do. You can have a plan, like I'm going to review sets or I'm going to do city updates, and it's something out of the blue that is spontaneous is what people gravitate to.
Yeah, spontaneity. Yep, and like randomness. Right now, people just like random stuff.
But you can't make up that. You know what I mean? Or you can't force that. Is what I mean.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You cannot. It's like a weird skill.
But so YouTube it can be very dangerous for people emotionally, mentally, physically. And I've been in that place more than once myself, where at the beginning, like when there wasn't as many people, and it's not the competition, it's just the ad dollars that are out there. When you're looking at YouTube in dollars and cents, which I still see a lot of us do that, it takes away your joy. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I remember talking to another person. It's like you like say, if I'm getting 1,000 views, if I get that to 4,000, I'll make 4 times more, is what you think. And that's not the way it works. You have to get twice of what you're making, you have to work 4 times as hard. And it's like you're the rat in the wheel.
Right. Plus, you're like your own boss, so you have to push yourself too. So,
and I think that was mentioned in your previous video. There's you got to have the boundary. Like I'm going to stop.
Yeah, that's true. We did talk
at this
about that.
point because I work all day. I come home, film a video. I could be. My wife sometimes gets on to me. She's like, "You need to go to bed." And so this year, I think it's the most balanced I've been. Is I want to do this like 1 video a day, so I'll batch record them. Mm-hmm. I have another channel that's so much more successful than my Lego channel. I might do 1 or 2 or 3 videos a month now. It's not in my heart to do it. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with dollars and cents. It's
the content or just what it is. Yeah.
It's just I'm making what I want to make.
Okay. Because I know, Claire, I don't know exactly what you were going to bring up, but it was something.
I'm going to cry. I'm sorry. That just like literally like. I hit a spot right there.
You know what I did? I said in December, it's my promise to my viewers is I'm not going to ask you to subscribe and I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm not going to ask you to buy from me. Right. I was like, I'll ask you to comment, but
right,
I'm not going to ask you to like a video. And the change is that I don't get any of the garbage comments anymore. They're very rare now. It's people that are actually watching.
I feel like that's good. Like that's kind of what I was talking about. I think it was last time also, but like I'd rather have 10 real ninjas watching my stuff than
just
I felt
people. That was great. It's better to have 10 of those than 10,000 of the others.
Exactly. They're just like, okay, and then go to the next one and forget about it. See, yeah, I like that.
Do you think it's also about fostering like a community that you want to be part of and you want to not necessarily, I don't know if leading is the word, but you're definitely bringing those people together, and especially in the comment section. I wonder if there's like, people are having conversation in that comment. Yeah.
And it's actually harder for me to keep up with the comment section now because people, they don't just write short, great video. Yeah. It's like, that made me think of this, and they write a paragraph or more.
Here's my life history. Yeah.
More personal, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I it's hard to respond to those, but I love those. It makes it all worth it.
I save those, a lot of them. So like I respond to comments very, very slowly. Sorry. I'm trying to get better. But I try to be thoughtful about them, and I don't want to respond like a machine, just like really late, and I don't know. It's like
thank you for watching.
Yeah. I don't be like, because YouTube, if you guys don't know, if you guys don't create content, as a creator, YouTube suggests responses to comments, and they even have like little emojis in there that you can pick and choose to make it seem like you're more genuine and stuff. So
I just noticed that too.
When did you just notice that? That's been there since I've been creating.
I've never used one of those. Like, thank you, click.
No.
I try not to. I really try not to. But yeah.
What?
If someone,
I literally just noticed them like I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
I try not to use them.
Yeah, because it feels disingenuous, right? Mm-hmm. It's like there's something about it that's heartless.
And they may not know it, but I know it.
Same,
Right.
same. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, I think it's good for people to know that, like, if you're getting like a thank you, winky face, smiley, or something like that, it's probably you're not special.
It
Yeah.
might just be mass produced. No, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel obligated to like, not feel obligated. I tend to respond with equal input. So if you
Yeah.
were to write a really deep comment, I will respond with a very deep response. If you respond to me with, "Hey, great video," I'll be like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's like
That's how
it's like-
communication is. Like real life is like that too. Like texting is like that when you're dating or with friends or even in just regular conversation. You know what I mean? You respond with what you're given.
hmm
Yeah.
Or if I have no idea what the hell you were saying, I'll just be like,
Thank you.
"Cool."
Smiley face,
Cheers.
winky face.
That's funny.
So, is this something? I know your kids are pretty much in the game. Is this something that you wanted for them, or you're happy that they're doing it, or you're kind of cautious about it?
I was always extremely cautious about it, especially with girls. It's almost unbalanced for girls because you don't know what kind of comments you're going to get sometimes.
I 100% feel that. I mean, my daughter's only 8 right now, so I mean that's like the perfect age. She's always asking like, "Oh, I want to make videos," but that's always in the back of my mind. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It they got that enthusiasm, but and then the other thing as a parent too, you got to think about at what point does it feel like you're exploiting your child, depending on how much you use them, how much time in their day, because there's child labor laws for like movies and actors for TVs, and they only work so many hours in a day, like 1 or 2 hours or a few minutes, whatever it is. And when you're making videos, it's they can be in there as much as the parent wants them to be. I think for the most part, I think people try to be balanced with that, but there's been a lot that haven't been.
Yeah, the balance.
And I never wanted to be. With mine, it was like I would ask them sometimes. But my son, he was the one that really started me getting more involved in doing videos because he wanted to do videos.
Okay.
And so that was kind of like, he was encouraging me to do it. But then I'm like, how do I include him? Does he get in front of the camera or not? And it's like video on my Lego channel, he's showing his mock, but he's not in front of the camera. And the first few videos were like that. And then we're like, okay, maybe we can get in front of the camera. But, he had a lot of enthusiasm there in that 9 to 13 or 14. And then it kind of waned. He got more into video games and doing things with his friends.
Yep, that's how
As they all do.
happens. Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's natural.
Yeah.
Time for a little break.
And he was feeling guilty. So he made his video recently because he hasn't made hardly any videos. And he's like feeling guilty. I was like, Jacob, you don't need to feel guilty. I was like, you got a life. You have a job. You have fun with your friends. I mean, if you want to make a video, I'll help you. But it's like, don't feel like you have to do something if you're not up for it.
It's like putting pressure on yourself that you don't really need.
Yeah.
Basically. Yep.
And so my daughter, she's like, this was about several months ago. She was like, I want to start doing videos. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, if you have the energy and the passion to do it, do it. And so I said, I'll help you. I'll give you suggestions. And so she's just been like prolific here the last 2 months. And I'd be like, now it's good. You want to be consistent, but don't burn yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like uploading like shorts and stuff now from her trip, which is really cool. And then she did like a build stream. So it's interesting. It's on the same channel. There's like Lego and non-Lego content. And like, which is, I would like to definitely do that at some point. It's really hard. It's really hard to pick, like, people are like, to be successful on YouTube, whatever that is, and if that's even your goal, is you have to pick your topic and like stick to it, which is like why you separated out, your train videos and stuff like that, which makes sense. But then like sometimes people follow creators for their personality and who they are, and it's simply the person itself that's the constant, which it seems like that's what's happening right now with your daughter, which is really cool.
I feel like that's all three of you.
Yeah,
follow all of you for who you guys are.
Yeah, honestly, if you like produce some other content, like your vlog of like you making coffee and going to work and stuff, I was like, this is cool. I like this too.
I literally just watch you guys play basketball. Like,
yeah,
I want to do more. There's going to be more of that in the summer, probably. Cool. So this is another tip. I don't know if this is a good tip or not, but you can transition your content without telling your audience.
Oh, you don't have to have the video.
But if I was to come out and say, okay, I'm not going to make any, I'm going to be talking about other things besides Lego. People are like, I want to watch that, but I just do it.
Don't even tell them. Just throw it in the video.
I mean, they'll figure it out on their own, right? Yeah.
See, that's where it comes in with the real ninjas, also, because like if they're following you, they don't care. Like, oh, look it's a Hot Wheels video. That's interesting.
Do you think if like you tell people that you're like transitioning your content, or you're not going to do Lego content, your audience that would feel abandoned in some way?
They would.
It seems like only negative would come from a video like that, even if it's like an explanation. But maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know. I see a lot of people doing that, and it seems like it doesn't ever help. You know?
What if you're not like fully abandoning it though? You're just like showing something else, and then like next week.
I try to make a connection. Is what I would try to do. So, I talk a lot about pop culture stuff. Because that influences me in a lot of things that I do, and I tie those things a lot of times to Lego because I can make anything relate to Lego, because you can build anything with Lego. So it defines who you are as a person. Your musical interests, your what you like in movies, what you would like Lego to make a set out of. Right. Who you are. So I don't see anything wrong with talking about those things.
That makes sense. Yeah. Your environmental factors essentially is like how it influences you. Yeah. I think that's totally pretty poignant, but they're all still like Lego channels too. At the end of the day, we're all different. We're Lego channels, but a little bit different. Like imagine if Shy didn't talk about his experiences.
Yeah.
In the military like that. Thanks. I mean, you'd just be a family vlog channel, which is great, but it just wouldn't have the depth that it does, because you wouldn't be showing yourself. You know what I mean? And
so being vulnerable works.
Being vulnerable works. Yeah. Especially I think that's why also family content is really well received. I think it's very, 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 you have to make a very conscious decision to put your kids in front of the camera. But like, I think people like it because it is a vulnerability of sorts. You know what I mean? And it is you at your truest. And, I don't have kids, but I hear that it's your heart outside of your body. So like if you're going to show anything, that's a reflection of you. It's them, right?
Yeah. So when you get married and then you have children, you go from not worrying about anything to having things, not things, but people, if anything happened to them, you can't imagine how you would handle that.
Exactly.
God damn it!
You get to worry about things that, oh my God. You worry about the things that probably won't even happen, but you're still worried about them.
Oh my God!
Shy, we're
I'm like seriously tearing up right now.
It's the deep one.
Yeah,
you literally. Oh my God!
My brother gave me some advice when we went to Yellowstone when Sarah and Jacob were like 5 and 4. I think was how old they were, or maybe it was 5. They were 5 and 4 then, and I was like, I want to get pictures, I want to get videos, I want. This was before YouTube, I was like, I want to, and then you get out there and you're like, oh, it's so big. And we didn't have HD cameras then, and I'm like, I can't get the whole shot in the thing. And I had a little VHS camcorder. And I'm like trying to record everything we saw, and we're at Old Faithful, and I got to make sure the tape's in there, and I broke it.
Oh my God! My dad has a similar story. Like,
yes,
yeah.
So my brother told me, he's like, don't just take pictures of your family here and there. Don't take pictures of the scenery. You can buy a postcard, buy a book, just enjoy it. So
That's good advice.
So I'll go to places now and I'll be looking around. Everybody's got their cameras and their phones out. I'm just looking like.
You're enjoying it.
So you're looking at it through the lens, but I want to see it with my own eyes, as Darth Vader says.
Ooh, nice one. Okay.
That stuff is called B-roll for a reason. It's not as important as the main frame. No, but I'll definitely like never forget, like I've gone through a lot of like my family recordings and stuff like that, and there's a lot of stuff of like me and my mom because I'm an only child, but like my dad definitely spent hours and hours just filming like Disneyland parades. Like who's gonna go back and watch a Disneyland parade of all things? Right. Like just like I think it was like the novelty of the technology as well, you know, and like having and like having a camcorder or whatever it is, you know, it's like you get excited. It's an expensive purchase. You want to use it. You feel pressure to use it. And then you just want to like, it's so exciting that you can do everything and you like forget. And I get like that sometimes too. Like, you know, I get a new Lego set or I even get a Bricklink order and I'm like, okay, no, I can't open it or I can't open it. Especially now that I'm like doing hauls. Thank you so much. Anyway, but like I'm doing hauls. So I'm like, do I wait? Do I open it now? Do I have to open it? Do I have to film? Like when I can't, and it takes the joy like ever so slightly away from it, you know, because I also like don't have like a very consistent like filming setup. Do you know what I mean? So like I don't know where I'm supposed to be going or standing or the lighting or whatever. I'm still figuring that out. And so it's such an ordeal to do everything that like I let boxes pile up. And then
you're gonna do a giant haul video.
Epic.
Come on, an epic stupid. I'm sorry.
I just did one.
See, I can't. Like I said, I can't. I have no self-control in that part. Like, an order comes in, I open it, and then I think afterward, like, oh, I should have made a video.
Well, I didn't used to, and then now I open it now just to sneak and make sure that there's like nothing wrong with it. Because think about it, like there is like a time where you need to open stuff to like
make sure it's
broken.
Okay, let's just be clear. I think the reason why I'm like antagonizing you about this is because I know what you've been buying, but I forget, and I want to live through you by you posting a video of it. See, I don't know what Jabbo bought yesterday and the day before, so when he posts them, it's new news to me, and I'm like interested, as opposed to, hey, didn't you buy this? Questioning. Like, when are you gonna show? Did you buy that?
Okay.
When are you gonna show that off? That's why I'm like, just make a video with just everything you've bought because you've been talking about it every day.
I'm going to do videos showing like what I got from the pick a brick wall and just go through each piece one by one to be like,
oh my God,
here you go. And then I'll make an Excel file and a graph and just, you know, and then do future projections, value engineering of it. I don't know. I'm just making up words now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that reminds me, there's a haul video I did a long time ago. I couldn't tell you which one it is, but I had gotten like 100 poly bags. I literally was counting them. And Bricks on the Dollar Clutch, he left some kind of snarky comment about it. I was like, I didn't mean to do that, but I ended up counting them.
Did you even do double time or anything? Or you just...
No.
1, 2, 3.
Somebody, that was like when we used to film our BrickTsar answer thingy, when Jacob and I would sit together and answer the questions from people. Somebody asked us, how do you edit your video? And Jacob's like, we're one and done. Hit record, do the video, and then stop. We're done.
I think some of the most successful YouTubers are like that too. They do it in one recording. You know, it's natural. There's definitely value there, right? You don't need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like videos like what y'all are making, these podcast style videos. They have a format that you can listen to. And enjoy. I prefer, and nothing against anybody else. I mean, YouTube is also a hangout place where we can get and hang out while we're doing stuff. But if I'm going to be listening or watching, I prefer things like this where they're just talking. Because if you hear the rattling of the brick,
or like a sporting stream or something.
Yeah, I've listened to some, and there'll be like minutes go by and nobody said anything. I'm like, I can't.
It's different content. Yeah, it's just different.
But it's not what it's not intended to be reviewed.
Yeah, there you go. It's not like rewatchable. Yeah, exactly.
It's more of a social dynamic. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it just has a different place. It's just on the same platform. Yeah.
It's like hanging out. You know, like if you guys were hanging out like the other day, and I came in late, I wouldn't like, oh well, I don't know. I'll feel weird like, oh, what were you guys? I don't know. It's weird. You had to be there
like,
type thing.
Yeah.
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 Do you think this is where YouTube is kind of going in some places, especially in the Lego space, where hanging out is like the thing? Because we're seeing people starting to do that more often now than they did 5 years ago.
You mean like the streaming thing, or
Streaming, cast, any like this, like a dedicated space to hang out. I wasn't around back then, so I can't give that answer. So this is something.
The live streaming is from the beginning has been something. Like we had Google Hangouts back in the day that was integrated with YouTube. And so there's a lot of live streams. And if you look at this format which we're doing here, I think Beyond the Brick kind of pioneered that back in the day. And then they kind of don't do that anymore. It's like what they were known for was the podcast. That's what they started as, was the podcast. It was like talking to a Lego creator. And then they've transitioned that to doing that with talking to they're still interviewing people, but they're doing it in person, which is, I think, better.
Mm-hmm.
And he's usually at a show or something.
Right.
So that helps.
But nobody else was doing podcasts. No. And I think the YouTube thing, like when YouTube first started, everybody's, you got to make short videos. Then you got to make long videos. I mean, I saw it where they like take 10 of your videos and splice them together into one long video.
Like clip it.
And if you look at some of the kids' channels, that's what they are. They'll film like a whole bunch of 5 to 10 minute videos, and then they'll make one long video.
Yes,
and put it on repeat.
Oh my god!
Yeah. An Austrian brick fan does that. He takes all of his speed builds and combines them into a 3-hour video.
Damn you, Blippi!
Damn you, Blippi! I feel the pain.
And I'm like, when I was 5, is this what I liked?
I was watching Barney.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
I was watching Sesame Street and the Muppet Show. It was whatever my mom put on TV, whatever she really wanted to watch.
It was a production, yeah.
Like,
yeah, those are shows though. Yeah, like nowadays, it's different.
Sesame Street and Electric Company had some deeper things that they would get into. I mean, I don't want to say deep, but
there were lessons. There was like a. Right? Weren't they like trying to be like, this is how you're a good person. Yeah. This is how you treat other people.
It wasn't empty knowledge.
I think of like the Capital I song. It was so sad.
I don't remember that. What is that?
Just
one?
Look up the Capital I. It's a sad song. And then there was Baby We Were Born to Add.
Oh my god.
And then they were doing Bruce Springsteen. I mean, it's like they had there was some. It wasn't just brain dead child entertainment. It was
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I
came out. That was the start of it.
That's when what came out? Oh my god.
Brain dead content for your children.
Oh no bueno. No, I like when they, just like I said with like the Trolls movie, how they put Ozzy Osbourne as the king of rock. Like kids aren't gonna know that, but
but I loved it though.
Yeah.
But that's like Shrek is like that too. Shrek is like, it's got a lot of stuff for both audiences.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Those are the ones that succeed, is because you get the nostalgia of the adult and then the newness or the innocence of the child that has no idea what they're talking about but still find it entertaining.
That's like all
maybe that's the key.
Yeah. See, I'm an adult, but I'm like a kid that never grew up.
Yes. Are we all?
Are we all that?
Yeah.
I just have more disposable income.
Right, exactly.
How can you afford to buy all that? I'm an adult, and
it's like I remember looking at things like the monorail when it was in stores, and it was just ridiculous amount. It was like $150 for the. I'm like, I can't pay $150 for a Lego set. Yeah, that's a cheap Lego set today.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that totally insane?
Like,
Can you imagine being a kid now and going in there? I don't know. Would you have the same concept of money, or would money, like, I guess, Ninja, your daughter is probably she's the oldest, right? She's probably
Yeah.
she's aware of like how much things cost, right?
Yeah.
So like what's a lot of money to her? You know what I mean? Is it like $20? Is it $5? Like how do kids' concept of money, does it change with inflation? Like how does that work?
That's
Do you know what I
interesting.
mean?
I don't think so. I mean, she knows because like we'll have her earn it by like
Mhm.
doing her chores or something.
Mhm.
So if there's something like $40, she knows she has to save up. I mean, she's not good at it. She's like, no, I'll just take the 5.
I mean, value is value. The numerical number behind the value is still, it's not subjective from one generation to the other. It's whatever's relevant
Right.
at the time. So like, for example, I was asking Greg, BrickTsar Greg, how much is the tooth fairy charge nowadays? And he said $5. And he pretty much says, well, if you count inflation from when we were kids, we would get $1. But to them, our dollar will feel like Clark's $5 now.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I mean? Because like when
Yeah,
way back when you could buy a cheeseburger for 20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now it's like 20 cents. What the hell? It's more like $2. So
It
that
all depends.
The significance of the value is still there of the money. It's not
Yeah.
how much it
Yeah,
actually
see, so it
costs.
goes. But they do have to take care of those teeth. If those teeth are not good, deductions.
Oh my god, that's smart. That's great parenting advice.
Is it
Deductions.
exponential or how does it
I
work?
mean,
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, you're only gonna buy. Hey, this is a 5-cent tooth.
Like,
It's
hey,
rotten
man,
all over it.
look
Maybe
at
you
this,
stop drinking so much
cavities.
milk.
Brush
Candy.
those teeth.
You like carbon date the tooth or like put it under the microscope to see what's going on.
My dad still has all my teeth.
Okay.
I mean,
I think my mom kept a few and I threw them out when I was going through her stuff.
I think Barbara's weird because she still has the umbilical
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. I think
A
it's
lot.
weird.
I think a lot. I think
Yeah,
a lot of
that's her.
people. I think a lot of people keep it. Yeah. She's not the minority.
She's weird.
No.
It's cool.
No.
You can say it.
It's nostalgia. Like just bringing it back to Lego. Like there's just something you want to like hold on to in the past that like
boxes,
ground you.
instructions.
That's yeah, sure. we should ask Jabba who keeps it all.
Well, as I grew up, threw all that stuff out, instructions and boxes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and everybody else did too. So then, like all that old stuff is worth a lot more now.
Now you like
I had the. It was in the late '80s and early '90s. I was still living at home. I was in my early 20s, and I'd been collecting the castle sets. And I'd get them on clearance at Sears or Service Merchandise or whatever. And so I had a good collection of them. And these were never intended to be resold. It was like, I want to build a bigger castle.
okay.
And I had all these duplicates of sets. And I'm like, well, I don't need all these boxes. So I'm going to throw away the extra boxes. I threw away the extra catalogs, all the extra instructions. I kept one copy of everything.
Okay.
And then eBay came around and I was like, what have I done?
No, you can't do that.
If you could only go back to your past
Yeah.
self.
That's
But
like
so-
not buying like Google at the right time or Facebook.
You should have bet it on black.
But it's like, did y'all see the video I did where I destroyed boxes?
Yes.
So it's like,
One of my favorite videos.
yeah, it's like to
Smash
the
it.
current stuff, it's like, oh, it's easy to get rid of it. But I may be looking back in time in 20 years, I'm like, oh,
Oops.
there's was that a sea cow box?
Right.
That's one of the ones
$40
I've got.
box.
But the reality is like you're not taking a complete evaluation of all aspects. There is space is
Mhm.
valuable, and there even though there should be a monetary application to it. So the average cost per square foot to buy a house in San Francisco is $1,300. So per square foot,
Holy
that box
crap.
is taking up $1,300 of so
Oh my god.
for a new apartment or for a new home, I think it's actually higher. Luxury, it goes all the way up like to like
Wow.
2,000. So
Yeah, that's
so if
expensive
That's
yeah,
average. That's average
So-
for San
so
Francisco.
I think I mean like when I bought my place 5 years ago, it was around $1,100, and if it was anything under that, then it was a pretty decent deal. And by the way, a lot of those places are tear downs, or like they need to be gutted.
Yeah.
So anyway, but my point is if you think about it that way, then if space is a rare commodity where you are, then you could theoretically apply a monetary application to space, right? So if you can't find, I don't know if you guys can tell I'm talking to myself.
No. I totally get it. We need to move out of California. That's pretty much where it's at.
Yeah, no, not just that, but like
The rest of the United States hates us for moving out of California.
No, but okay, so I'm probably going to be moving out of California, and but I will have more space. But then, am I going to pay someone to move my boxes? I'm going to pay somebody to move my Lego. I'm going to pay somebody to. That's always like every time I move. That's always my unit of measure. It's like, do I want to keep this? Is this worth it? That I'm going to not only like keep it and not sell it, but I'm going to pay somebody to pick it up and move it for me. But like. How do you do that? Anyway, so I still have those boxes that I did that video on. I haven't done.
Oh, so you haven't done squat to it.
Don't get rid of the Vikings one. That's all I got.
No. So I am not. Don't worry, I'm not allowed to get rid of the Vikings one. I've been convinced. I actually have 2 of those, and the Aqua Zone one is also hard because that's like a top opener. But I don't know if I'm not saying that right. But
I didn't throw away my boxes either. You saw that.
I know, but you.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah,
I saw that video. I was like, he's going to pull these back.
It was so well done. I was more concerned that you got a stain in it from the recycling container, on the outside.
I just washed those trash cans too.
So perfect. That's the reason why you did that video. You're like, perfect timing.
Yeah, you played me on that one. I even left a comment.
A lot of people.
I was like, oh yeah, it's about time, and I got to the end like, played.
So I do depart, get rid of boxes. Mm-hmm. Just I keep one of every different set that I own at least, or if they're vintage boxes.
Okay.
But I got the space
where
I live. I mean, I live in Georgia. We're out in the country. It's like
you build a new barn for it if you need to.
But yeah, there is a limit though, because I mean, I have a train collection too.
Oh, right.
There's always a limit, and it's not there.
And it's funny when you're not as in like. So I'm in the Thomas and Friends collection stuff, but I don't value the boxes like maybe somebody else would.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I get something new, the box is gone immediately.
Right.
Whereas somebody else, what are you doing? It's like I don't. And if anybody's on the fence about this, like should you keep the boxes or not? And like Claire's saying, if you don't have the space, you really don't need to be keeping them. But if your set's worth a certain amount of money, yes, it's going to be worth more with the box and the instructions, but it's still going to be worth more than probably what you paid for it without those.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad if you got to get rid of them. But just donate them or whatever you need to, or recycle them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Don't put them directly into the waste stream. At least recycle them. I think what I'm going to do, I think I might even, so I took photos of them and I was even thinking about putting them on Facebook Marketplace and like maybe selling some of them. But even if I give them out for free and if I give them to somebody who wants to go through the effort of selling it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if there's any value in that.
What if you ship the box and it gets damaged and they like email you like
no, pick up only.
Damaged.
Pick up only. Yeah.
See, I had there was a listing on eBay of a Thomas and Friends set that I wanted the box for. I already had the set. I just wanted the box, and I thought, there it is. Finally, somebody's listed it. And then I read the description: box not included. It's too big to ship. And I don't know who did it. Nobody has ever come forward and told me, but one of my viewers who lived in Florida bought it and then shipped it to me.
Anonymously.
Yes, anonymously.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, because I was they were down in Miami, and I'm like, if I just lived closer, I would just drive over there and pick it up. But you know, it's
pretty far. Yeah.
Miami's as far as you can get from everybody in the United States.
Yeah. Especially us.
You're not wrong.
There are hurricanes there.
Yeah. Would you train hurricanes for earthquakes?
Hell no.
tornadoes.
I'm more
We just
scared
had
of
an We had an earthquake today.
Yeah, I know. But
I
I'm more
didn't even
scared of
notice.
hurricanes. I don't know. Whatever. Earthquakes have been around my whole life. Hurricanes, they can rip your house apart.
Yeah, like you said, we just had an earthquake today, and I didn't even know that.
Whatever.
I walked right through it.
Yeah. I think it was
I
close
need
to
to
me.
get to California. I've only been
Oh,
once. And
Have
it
you
was
been to Southern or Northern California?
at the Los Angeles airport.
That's it?
That counts.
Wow.
That
Flew
counts.
to the airport and rode a bus and got on a cruise ship. That's my experience with California. I really want to get out there. My family's different ones in my family have been several times. Even Jacob got to go a
Disney,
couple
at
of years
least?
ago. Went to Yosemite, and
Oh my
Oh,
God.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best part. Yeah, that's
part of
Go
that.
up there, yeah.
I really want to go.
Come on down. This is the perfect time.
Well, no, it's not. Give us
No.
Wait.
give us some time to recover
Yeah,
because
I forgot
No.
about the situation, but I meant like the weather.
Hey, let's forget about the situation.
the situation.
Right? The situation, we'll call it that. But I mean, I don't know if you guys have. I do want to ask one quick question because I think we're getting closer to the end. So we compared. You compared the old.
Wait,
versus-
not to cut you off. Something broke.
We had Catzilla.
Nothing broke.
Something.
I went
was
to
gonna
like,
go right
I
over
went
it.
to move the cat and he like scared himself and he just like moved everything like just like
Oh, I thought something broke.
I
no,
was
it
treating
sounded
a
like
kid.
it, right? But it's like
treating
that's
like
what
a kid if
happens
you don't
when
notice.
four little paws like move really quickly at the same time on a table full of Lego.
All right, Ninja, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ninja.
I was. So we went over the old and new Lego, but what about like the old, like Lego customer service? I would say, like old Lego customer service versus the new customer service.
Or
Was it
Lego
better
in
back then?
general.
Or yeah, just like the company
So
aspect.
I've been collecting Lego my whole life. I've been buying Lego from Lego directly since it was called mail order.
Look at that.
Remember that?
And then, we got Lego Shop at Home in the 2000s. And then they started the VIP system. Was it called VIP from the beginning? I think, was it something else where you could get points?
I don't.
I came back into it when the VIP was already
Yeah,
established.
So, I had an old card that was worn out by the time they switched to this new one. I was like, I still wanted my card. Now it's digital only. But anyway, I never, I had problems that are, no matter how well you run a business, you're going to have things like one time I ordered these 5 sets that were like a truck it was a big set. No. Yes, it was a big set. They sent me the small one.
Wow.
The small, it looked the same, but it was a small. How did you? These aren't even the same number. And they sent me. I had bought 5 of them. They sent me 5 of the wrong ones. I called them up, and they said, "Okay, we'll send those out to you." I said, "What about the wrong ones?" He said, "Nope, just keep them."
Okay.
It's like that was my experience. Every time there was anything wrong with my order, call them. They'd fix it. I never had really a reason to complain, like things that aggravated me that were unnecessary until in the last few years. And so the customer service is still awesome, but instead of calling, now I got to call and wait an hour because
Yeah.
that's just normal because of the situation.
Very nice.
But there's things that it's like, why is this even an issue? You talk about how the website crashes, and I guess we're partly to blame. The social media people are to blame because, and I even had somebody criticize me back in the day when I was doing BrickLink and haul videos, and I mentioned Goodwill, and they're like, "Don't tell people our secrets." So,
Gatekeeping, huh? Okay.
but yeah, I could, whenever the sales would come, you go on there, you didn't have any problem buying stuff. You never missed a promotion. Now they limit things like these coins. Like nobody wanted the coin when it first came out. Now everybody wants the coin because the other coins are in demand.
Didn't the space one sell out?
Yes.
Immediately.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
Wait, so what's your prediction with the coins? Is that a good thing for us to wrap up on? Where do you think not the future, but was it a good investment to get all of them if you did? to sell as a collector? Like, what do you think? Like, they're on eBay right now for pretty high prices, and like, I don't know if anyone's actually buying them though.
I wouldn't speculate because if people think they're going to make money, then they're going to get. I'm glad they limit it to one. I mean, that's the one thing I can say.
The whole time, yeah.
I would love to have two, but I'm glad to limit to one because that way more people can get it. But they've tried so many different things that nobody wanted.
Yeah,
they got all those prints, and then out of the blue, they do the Winnie the Pooh. If you'd gotten the Winnie the Pooh prints, you could trade them in, put them on eBay, and go buy you a Millennium Falcon.
I saw that in your video. I think people wanted them. They'd be like a really nice thing to put in a nursery. Maybe is that why people wanted them?
It's the Winnie the Pooh fan base is what happened there.
Is that a thing? That's a thing then.
Because none of the other prints sell out. I mean, Winnie the Pooh was one of 1,000. Video is one of 500.
Yeah,
those are still on there.
Well,
video.
Are we surprised about that one? I'm sorry.
That's funny.
So are you? I'm trying to say this without any biased thoughts coming out. Are you content, or how would you say it? Are you okay with leaving this platform to pass on to your kids? Because I don't we're not there. Like Ninja and I aren't there yet, and Jacob and Sarah, they're in it now. Like, are you? Which is a scary thought in my head for my kids to get to a point where like driving is like, oh my god. But are you like?
My daughter doesn't pay attention enough already.
with all the things that you've taught them, with all the things that you know now, and your experiences with not only the Lego group, but the hobby and this platform, are you okay with them going full blown, pursuing what you love here?
Only as long as they want to do it. The second they don't want to do it, walk away. If you can't, you got to be able to walk away from anything. M&R was on his podcast, and they were pushing about like, why don't you do more? Why don't you do more? And he was like, I don't want to do more. I like what I'm doing. And I think that's where you need to be. Is like, I see these kids channels that, they're making millions and millions of dollars. Not that there's anything wrong with making millions and millions of dollars, but I'm like, when I started YouTube, I wanted it to get to the point where I could sustain a comfortable lifestyle and provide for my family. I didn't want to go buy a mansion, go buy a Lamborghini.
Like change your standard of living entirely. Yeah.
I wanted my same standard of living, just without having to go to the regular job. And if I can't find joy in what I'm doing, then I don't need to be doing it. And I don't want my kids, to do things if they're not happy doing it.
100%. Got to do what you love.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you have to go to college. Everything that I'm doing now, I could have done without going to college.
Right. I feel like that's kind of like situational. Like if what you want to do doesn't involve college, then there's no need.
Well, it's people forget that college, just like the food industry, just like the medical industry, a lot of these things are industries, they're for profit, right? So you have to be a conscious consumer, right?
Yeah. Any desire that you have or goal that you have, make sure that you can afford it and that it will lead to where you want to go. Because I see so many times people go into a career, they don't even know if they like that career. That's what I did. I wanted to be an electrical engineer. And I found out they don't drive trains. They sit at a desk and design computer circuits, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
what was I thinking?
I'm not even using my degree. I wanted to do law, and then like as I'm doing stuff for that, as I'm sitting on court cases, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it.
Shy, you got a skill that if the right company recognizes it, you can thrive. And it's like there's something about integrity that I think more people should recognize. But too often people look at the numbers or other factors, and I just
you're gonna make them cry again.
that means a lot, man. I really appreciate it, Gavin. Thank you.
I do agree though. Like you take pride in everything that you do, so that's.
I give myself, like everyone here, I give it 100%.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing, whether it be being like running up a hill to delivering mail to studying, I give it my all until I fall. So sometimes it's recognized, sometimes it's not. But I don't do it for the people. I do it. Oh, I did it for myself. Now it's for the family next in the other rooms.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And that's why I was drawn to y'all's. I say y'all but you guys, however it is you say it, you're genuine. You're who you are. Every video I've seen all three of you in is you're the same people. You're not trying to be something different for a video. And that's the type of I like real people. So
I heard that.
Which is that's full circle. That's what that's why we like you in the videos we were saying in the beginning. So that was really well done.
Thank you.
But thank you for saying that. That doesn't
now
go.
How are we supposed to top this episode? Not that many people can do that when I'm sober.